Okay, we have one more session, and then we're going to take a short break, and this session is going to be on renewable energy. First, we'll hear from Ella Lewis about solar and sustainable education at Girls, Inc. This Sarasota native serves as Director of Advancement for Girls, Inc., overseeing fund development efforts in support of Girls, Inc.'s mission. And then Dr. T.H. Culhane will discuss how his work at the University of South Florida creates community-scale solutions by being a food, energy, and water nexus. Dr. Culhane is an associate professor at the Battelle College of Global Sustainability at USF. His mission is to empower communities to regain ecological self-sufficiency and economic security through regenerative systems integration, believing that we have all the puzzle pieces to make thriving societies and just need to unite and put them together. So we're going to start with our first speaker, Ella Lewis.
All right, thank you so much. I am humbled to be in the room today. I feel like I'm sitting with a bunch of experts on a topic that I am not an expert on, so I'm enjoying this very much. Thank you guys for having me. My name is Ella Lewis. I am the Director of Advancement at Girls, Inc. of Sarasota County. Before I talk about our solar education project, I want to tell you a little bit about what we do at Girls, Inc. Our mission is to inspire all girls to be strong, smart, and bold. We accomplish that through after-school programming, summer camp programming. We provide opportunities for girls to attend our programs when school is closed for professional days or a spring break, winter break, things like that. And we also have school-based programs. So we're a part of a national organization, but we're the local affiliate in this area. At our centers, which is our main centers on Tuttle Avenue, we house a component of our program is a micro-society. It's called Dream Harbor, and every girl who attends Girls, Inc. has a job. We have just actually newly installed mayor, vice mayor, treasurer, and secretary. We have the peacekeepers, which are our police force, if you will, and the girls earn wages at their jobs. They spend their money at our market day, and that's a big part of what we do at Girls, Inc. So that you'll see why I'm talking about that in a couple minutes. But a couple of years ago, we were approached by Charles and Marjorie Braddock Foundation, and they asked us if we would be interested in partnering with them on a solar project. So that led to, over a couple of years, the installation of 564 panels across all 5 of our rooftops. We are currently the largest solar array in Sarasota County, and the project was completed by Brilliant Harvest. They were the installers on the project. We transitioned to full solar power on August 22nd of this year, so it's still relatively new in terms of actual energy production for us, but it was a huge investment on the part of the Braddock Foundation, and we're very grateful that they chose us to be a pilot project for this. The goal of the project was, there are many goals. The primary 2 would be that we would reduce our energy costs and therefore be able to direct more of our funds to our direct program service, which as a nonprofit organization, nobody wants to fund electric bills. People want to fund programs that support the girls that we serve. So if we are able to reduce our electric bill, that's a great thing, not only for us as an organization, but for our community's health in terms of sustainability. Additionally, we wanted to teach our girls, and what better way to teach young women about sustainability than by them being a part of it. So those are the two primary goals of this project for us. So the education component of what we do, we have a sustainability venture in Dream Harbor. So some of our girls, about 12 of them, their job is to work in sustainability. And throughout the years that we've started this, it's been about 2 years now. The first part of it, the girls are really developing sustainable practices in our building. For example, they made on all of our light switches, there's a little sticker that says turn off the lights when not in use. They came up with that idea, they designed the stickers, put them all over the building. We have recycle bins, and we have composting, and all those kinds of activities that the girls have implemented themselves through the sustainability venture. They've also had the opportunity to learn about what the solar panels are in a way that's appropriate for young girls. They've been able to learn about how they work and what that means for us as an organization in terms of cost savings. We also elected a sustainability commissioner for Dream Harbor. So like we have a mayor and a vice mayor, we have a sustainability commissioner who's the head of the sustainability venture, and she leads the efforts for our girls in terms of making our building more sustainable. They have also had the opportunity, now that we're pulling some data from our electric bills and our energy usage. They're analyzing the data on how much energy we're creating, how much are we using, and what those impacts are for our building and for our organization. So here are, well, let me go back. If you can see this picture, it's a little small and blurry for you guys, but on our market day, the girls, they create items to sell for other girls to buy with the money they've earned at their jobs. So this is just an example of one of the things that the sustainability venture has made. They are used coffee tins with plants inside. So they're making planters, repurposing items for use that other girls can buy and take home, give as gifts, things like that. With the markers here, those are girls making signs that are, these ones are specifically about picking up trash and not leaving trash out and throwing things away in the proper bins. So they're making signs to put across the building. And then on the other picture there, they are decorating water bottles. We have a lot of water fountains in our building. We're actually working on increasing the number of water fountains we have so girls can refill water bottles instead of using disposable bottles. And so they're decorating water bottles to sell at Market Day. So those are just some of the examples of what we do to help make sustainability fun and accessible for girls. And it's really not something that they see as new. It's just part of what they do and what we do at Girls Inc. So in closing, since we are a children's organization, I wanted to read a book to you all. This book was developed by our friends at the Braddock Foundation. They did an amazing job creating this. We do have printed copies, but I did not bring it today. I wanted to distribute it electronically for you all to see it. So I'm going to read it to you and so hope you can see how we're talking to the next generation of conservationists in our community. It's called Here Comes the Sun. Imagine a planet where 8-year-old girls are in charge of the Environmental Protection Agency. This is a story about how Girls Inc. of Sarasota County said, if we can dream it, we can do it. It all started when the people at a place called Braddock Foundation believed that every child and their family should have a safe home, fresh food, and a clean environment. They had an idea that in order to save the planet, more organizations should go green. They looked to find opportunities to help nonprofits save water, recycle, and switch to renewable energy. Braddock Foundation knew that their friends at Girls Inc. were trusted and effective partners. They also knew that Girls Inc. had a great big roof that would be perfect for solar collection. What if we installed the largest solar array Sarasota has ever seen on it? All the money from energy savings could be reinvested into programs for the girls. Girls Inc. thought that it was a great idea, and a company was hired to install 564 solar panels on 12,000 square feet of roof. The benefit of the clean energy source to the environment alone would be equal to planting 9,000 trees a year. But the greatest magic of all was a chance to create a whole new generation of conservationists. During the solar installation, Girls Inc. created curriculum around sustainability and conservation. Armed with their imagination and the lessons they learned, the strong, smart, and bold girls led the charge in greening their building. A sustainable garden was planted. Water wasn't wasted. Trash was recycled, and lights were switched off after use. No bulb was left unturned. To guide the organization into the future, the girls elected their own sustainability council. Through their direction, recycling bins were purchased, food was composted, and sustainability was added to new member orientations. The girls also created posters, artwork, and songs to remind each other to pick up trash, use less water, and be sustainable. The green efforts led to a total organizational culture change. Even Girls Inc. staff started to change their habits at work and home. For the girls, a new generation of environmental stewards will carry on the practices they've learned throughout their lives and future careers. Knowing we all share the same ocean, sky, and trees, the girls aren't waiting around for others to do better. Right now, we hold the record for solar power in town. We dare you to go bigger. Thank you.
Dr. Coolhane here? Oh, come on up.
Good morning. It's ironic that the most difficult part about living sustainably and going off the grid is the modern technology, like presenting it to other people so that the meme can spread. So give us a second while we try to call up the visuals, but I want you to imagine your private utopia. How could you make it happen? Because I think that we have the chance here in South Florida to really bring the good place, the true good place, not some fictional utopia, to bear using a few very simple technologies that are a lot more reliable than laptops. So, I think we're up now. Just need to go out. My wife, who's sitting in the back row there, and I have the distinction of being the only couple you'll probably ever meet who asked when we got married on our wedding registry for people to bring in buckets of food waste. Because food waste, that moldy bread and all the, rotten pumpkins, you name it, that stuff is renewable energy, as many of you probably already know. I wonder how many of you are already relying on food waste as your primary source of energy to power your home? Okay. Well, we do. And if I just if we go forward to show the slides, if we hit advance there, this isn't the first time I've off-grid. I've gone off-grid on and off for about 20 years now, since being in the Los Angeles Eco Village in the 90s when I was a graduate student, and then living in Egypt and living in Germany and living in Indonesia, in Guatemala. Wherever I go, I try to find a way to disconnect from the flawed systems that are our legacy and plug into some of the ancient and modern hybrids that give us a hopeful chance at utopia. If we click again, we'll see Newsweek picked up on me when I was in Brazil doing this, and they made it look very dark, off-grid, like we're some kind of fringe group. Next slide, please. And they did this article about how I was powering my life using poo power. To them, it was amazing that you could build a composting toilet / biodigester and win both energy and fertilizer from the residuals that your own body produced. But they missed in the story that it wasn't the banana that went through me that was causing me to be able to live this utopian life in the slums of Brazil. It was the banana peel. That's the great appeal of this maneuver. You don't have to work with your poo if you don't want to. Next slide, please. My wife and I, to deal with the poo power, working with one of our students, there's Whitney, my wife and I helped us to build our own septic tank replacement under our 40-foot RV that we live in now here in South Florida. It's Florida after all. And we put in a biodigester with a leach field replacement using a hugel culture. We can get into that later privately. You're nodding, you know what hugel culture is. Instead of a leach field with stones, it's breaking down wood and composting and turning the poo into a nutrient to grow wonderful scented flowers. So there's never any smell and there's no groundwater contamination. But that's not the story I want to tell here. We're talking about energy. That's just another thing we do. Next slide, please. But we have solved the septic tank problem. We're growing cool things. Next slide. The cool part is both the poo, the stuff that goes through us, and the banana peel and the avocado pit and shell turn into this wonderful biomethane that you see on our stove in our RV. And we cook every single meal. Is that true in us? Every single meal? Almost. There was that one time we didn't have enough food waste delivered and we had to use propane. But when we have enough food waste, and we know we're running out of that on this planet, we cook reliably on this beautiful clean blue flame, the biomethane or home biogas. Next slide, please. This journey is something I started in Los Angeles, as I said. This is 1999, so 20 years ago, 30, 20 years ago, thank you, I can't do math. 20 years ago, when I built a recycling shower system on the roof of my apartment in LA powered by photovoltaic pelts. I was a graduate student, so I had student loans. I could buy anything. So I bought solar panels and bought all this hardware from Lowe's and Home Depot, made an electric car, made a solar electric system. The one piece, a composting toilet, I didn't have the biodigester in mind. Next slide, please. So I had to go off to Egypt and to India to learn, next slide, how they make home biogas systems. And we started by making home solar hot water systems. That was a snap. It's really easy to just weld copper pipe together, put it in a glass box, boom, you've got a solar hot water system, done, hot water forever. That was easy. I had to go to India to learn the thing on the right, which is that if you take a water tank and put another water tank upside down in it and fill it with cow manure or horse manure or human manure, your baby's diaper waste as I did, then it'll turn into a biodigester, produce from all your food waste and your toilet waste, if you like, all of the cooking fuel and heating fuel for your water that you need, supplemented by solar. We did it on the roofs of the slums of Egypt. It worked. Next slide. And then I thought, well, I need to take it home. I was living in Germany at the time, so I built a tank outside my bathroom window and got a couple of water barrels, garbage cans, and made a biodigester and was able to cook in Germany on that beautiful blue flame in the apartment every day. Next slide. It was so simple to do when the winter came and started threatening the operation because it goes to sleep because there's microbes in a tank of water and the water will freeze and then everything hibernates. I put it in a greenhouse and made a solar hot water heater because I knew how to do that with a photovoltaic pump, and then kept it running all year round because the sun heats the greenhouse and heats the solar. It was just so simple to put these synergies together. And how did I learn to do it? I was a grad student. I read books and talked to people and watched YouTube. It was all there. It wasn't hard to do. Next slide. So once I'd mastered that, and I was filling up plastic bags with biogas and cooking all the time and heating water, and then I built another one to take the poo. So I have 3 biodigesters in the back there on the porch of this urban apartment. Next slide, please. I then started experimenting with indoor biodigester because I figured if the problem is they don't work in the cold, what if I bring the domestic dragon, we call them dragons because they breathe fire and they're alive, if I bring the dragon inside, so in the upstairs bathroom I made 2 little mini biodigesters, took my baby's diapers, I'll change the diaper, scraped the contents in, took his porridge, I never said to my kids you have to finish your meal, I just said here, I'll take it, the dragon wants it, and proved that biodigesters, next slide, were so safe that you could do them indoors. And then in New York, when I was hired to help deal with the hurricane problem in New York for sustainability, I took a windowless lab at Mercy College in New York, and we have somebody else who's from Mercy College right here, who's from Greenberg, actually, from the science barge. There you are, woo, science barge go, because we built one at the science barge last summer. You saw it. We did it inside a windowless laboratory next to the cadaver lab in case it stunk. It didn't. And proved that biodigesters belong inside. And then with that, next slide, because I'm running out of time here, we got asked to build by the representative for Juice Plus. Juice Plus is outside with the Tower Gardens. Kathy Puffer in New York said, hey, I'm a Juice Plus rep, I have Tower Gardens, but I spend a lot of money on the fertilizer. I don't want to spend that. And I said, you can use biodigestate because your food waste turns into gas and liquid compost and retains all the nitrogen. She said, wow, really? I want to try that. So she and her husband Ed and their 2 little girls and my students built the first indoor basement biodigesters in a home in New York, and they've been working through every polar vortex because they heat the house. So we just keep the dragon warm inside, along with they had chickens and goats and a lot of other animals, guinea pigs and stuff. And then we built them with the Rockefeller family in their home basement in New York, Abby Rockefeller, who championed compost toilets. She now is fully on board with this. Susan Bristol in the Mennonite home, and we built with the Amish because they like to live off-grid. They don't want government interference. And then in coal country, where they're reconceiving defunct coal communities to be eco-lodges for hunting, we built biodigesters. It says just like moonshine. So next, and that was attractive. In New York, in my mother's apartment, built a emergency biodigester to fertilize her plants and create fuel in a windowless bathroom. But those are tiny. They don't do a lot, but they take care of you. And so you don't have to worry if the toilet doesn't flush. And then moving on, next slide. Now in Land of Lakes at the Sustainable Rosebud Continuum Sustainable Education Center we've built. We live in this 40-foot RV. We get this beautiful flame every day. Let's just run through the slides to get to the end of it. That's where we live, and then that's where we live at night, and the solar and the biogas power that, and those are the solar panels from Amazon Prime. Free shipping, you just put them on blocks. That is what I wanted to show you. We have a big biodigester with Tower Gardens that we put a barrel of food waste in a day, and we fill those Walmart mattresses differences with the gas, and that there you're looking at is about 5 to 6 hours of cooking, or that is about 3 hours of electric generation. Thank you very much. I hope you will try this at home.
And we'll invite Ella to come back and join us on stage. And if you have questions for either of these speakers, you want to go to menti.com and enter your questions, and they're going to pop up on the screen here. What is your budget for repairs, and especially for battery replacement?
I haven't replaced the batteries yet. The average lifespan is 5 years. If you don't deep cycle them too much, you can make them last 10. They've been running, these batteries have been running, 3 years now, so I'm expecting to get 2 more years minimum out of them, but I think that we have 6 batteries. We're running a 1.4 kilowatt system, which cost us a total of $3,000 to install. I'm probably gonna have to spend another roughly $1,000 to replace the batteries. Yeah.
For Ella, do your solar panels generate about the same or more energy than your facility uses?
Not yet, but we're hoping that they do. Within a year or so, we're hoping that they will be able to generate everything that we need, and it will obviously depend on the time of year, but since we just switched in August, we're still kind of seeing the gains being made.
Okay. Where did you go to school and what did you study? They want to know how you got all this knowledge. She's so excited.
So I was really schooled in the slums of Cairo with the Zebulene garbage recycling population. There are a bunch of entrepreneurial people live on $1 a day cash, but they sell their all the waste plastic and metal that they clean to the Chinese. They can still ship to the Chinese because they clean their garbage. We don't. So the Chinese don't want our garbage. They take their food scraps and feed them to the pigs. We built biodigesters with them, and as a community, we taught ourselves everything we needed to know. I got my formal education at Harvard. Boy, was that a waste of money. And then UCLA. So really, I think you go into communities, you work with communities, you work with the youth who have fresh ideas and go, hey, why are you doing it that way? And you figure stuff out. And then there is, you can get degrees to help them come and, wear badges and speak and stuff.
And so do you have plans online that people can access to build these systems?
Yes, if you're a Facebook user, we have a very active Facebook group called Solar Cities. We're not Elon Musk, wish we had his money. Solar Cities, plural, biogas. And if you type that in, Solar Cities Biogas, it really says biogas innovators and practitioners, because we don't want just people who aren't interested in doing stuff. These are the people around the world who do this at the home level. There's over 13,000 members from around the world. All of us are in the middle of the night typing advice to one another. It's an open source group. Lots of plans and stuff in that Facebook group. And then we have a website, solarcities.eu. We started in Europe, still active, and we post open source plans. But now YouTube, just look up Culhane Biogas, and we've got tutorials online, and then if you can improve them, make them better.
Ella, they're curious if Girls Inc. has an after-school program.
Yes, so our programs throughout the school year are after school based. We have our center on Tuttle Avenue. We bus girls with the school district in conjunction with Boys and Girls Club. So we share busing with them, pick up from schools, bring the girls to our center, and we're open until 6:30, and the girls participate in our programs then. Throughout the summer camp time is all day, and then when schools are closed, we're open all day as well.
So there's a question about circumventing the mounds of permitting issues in URBAB communities and problems with municipal county code compliance. We're working on code creep. When we did this at the Science Barge ran interference for us. When we did it at Hillsborough Community College, Sheila McNamara ran interference for us, talked to the dean, introduced us to the higher ups who have authority. But basically, when you have people come and see them, and I'm sure both of you can say it, you go, what is that thing? And you go, it's a water tank. Oh. What does it do? We put in organic waste. It's a liquid composter. Do you have regs on compost? Yeah, you can do compost. Does it smell? Try to smell it. No, it doesn't smell. Won't it make methane? Yeah. How often? It goes bloop, bloop, bloop. What about the storage? Big plastic balloons. So when we had one particularly bad guy in New York who was really against it, he had us fill the plastic balloon with biogas, and then we had to put a flaming stick into it in front of him. He was a fire marshal to prove it was non-explosive. And he goes, okay, I write off on this. It's such low volume, low pressure, safe, 30% carbon dioxide, 70% methane, so it's non-explosive. It doesn't pool at the floor of your RV. It's not like propane. Once you understand understand the dragon, you'll be happy to bring it home. But people who don't get scared, so we refer them to the Israeli company, and write this down, homebiogas.com. They're lawyers, they're politicians. We work with the Perez, Shimon Perez and his son at Harvard and in Tel Aviv. They've done the due diligence to show it's ISO 9001, 9004, CEC listed, all that safety stuff. So we ride now on their commercial coattails, but we teach people how to build them themselves. But it's in over 90 countries now, and so they can take on the legal battles, and they've already won that. We're just trying to teach you all, you can do it yourself. And if you aren't comfortable, buy one.
Great. Thank you to both of our speakers on renewable energy. And because we're going to take a short break, you can go and address them individually if you have more questions for them. So you can also visit our sponsor tables here in the conference room, our exhibitor tables in the room at the back, and the electric vehicles outside for a ride and drive opportunity. Please also visit our Growing Greener Generations Youth Project Showcase upstairs. This is the first year we've incorporated youth sustainability projects on display at our workshop. Show them support by visiting their projects and encouraging our emerging sustainability leaders with positive feedback. For each table you visit, including the youth tables, you will receive a raffle ticket. Please ask the vendors for a ticket, write your name on the back, and leave them at the organization's table. The more booths you visit, the better your chances of winning a raffle prize at the end of the day. And there are some great prizes this year. We want to give a special thank you once again to our platinum sponsors, the Gulf Coast Community Foundation and Manatee County Government. Without their support, this event would not be possible. So go ahead, enjoy the break, and we'll be back here at 10:50 to start again.